Great rising. Great rising. Great rising. How y'all doing? Great rising. Alright, let's get it. That's what I need. So let me prop this joint up higher. Let me think. Great rising, family. Let's see this. Hey. Alright, hold on. Trying something new. Alright, let's try that. Okay. Great rising. Peace and power. Hey. I'm glad to be with you. Hold on. Okay. Sacred woman, Queen of Four. See, they trying to do what they want to do today. Y'all remember y'all the goddamn team. Okay? Great rising, great rising. Peace and power, family. Peace and power. I am a distinctive, beautiful flower and a healing herb with a heart, a mind, breast, buttocks, and a womb. I come with sacred earth medicine to heal myself. Alright, sacred woman in the making, sacred woman reawaken, sacred spirit hold me near, protect me from all harm and fear beneath the stones of life, direct my steps in the right way as I journey through this vision. Sacred spirit surround me in your most absolute perfect light, anoint me in your sacred purity, peace, and divine insight. Bless me, truly bless me as I share this sacred life. Teach me, sacred spirit, to be in tune with the universe. Teach me how to heal with the inner and outer elements of air, fire, water, and earth. TaUrt. That's peace. I just found some notes in here. It says the body is only as well as its environment. Treat symptoms without eliminating the disease or cause. Address the underlying issue. Treat the whole person, not just the disease. That's peace. Treat the whole person. That's holistic healing, not just the disease. So I don't come with you to just fix the bleeding problem or just the thyroid or just the hypertension or just the cigarette addiction. It's treating the whole person. Great rising. Great rising. I see you, butterfly. Yeah, treating the whole person. Yo, you know what? I realized yesterday that I never watched it consistently, but there was a show called House. That's the name of it. House. You know, with the rude ass grungy looking doctor and shit. Alcoholic doctor. Everybody got vices. But yeah, I didn't realize that even on that show, as quirky as he was, he had a very holistic way of viewing things. A medical doctor, so he had a medical way of fixing them, but he definitely had a holistic approach to finding out what the fuck the issue was. That was the first time I'd ever seen a doctor show where he'll like send doctors home to go through their shit. Go look at their home. Don't ask them what the fuck they ate and ask them to write the shit. You know motherfuckers aren't honest with themselves. Why the fuck would they be honest with you? Go to their house and see what it is they're eating and drinking. Go to that to their home and see what they're washing their clothes in and shit. I'm saying? House was the first show I might see. A lady might be in the hospital and shit because she having migraines and she need a CAT scan and she need the MRI and shit. And she need the EKG and shit. And he's like, she got this asshole, abusive ass boyfriend sitting next to her pretending to be supportive, and House will come in and shit. And instead of him talk about a CAT scan, he'll be like, yo, get rid of this nigga. You want to get rid of your headache? Get rid of this nigga. That's holistic. You feel me? Home in the holistic, I give thanks. True shit. That's holistic, though. That is holistic. Alright, so yeah. Y'all know I've been bleeding for what felt like 40 days and nights. Right when I was talking all that shit about how I don't want to fast from sex and shit, but I know I need to. As the universe would have it. I can't remember the last time I had sex. I can't remember the last time I had sex, y'all. Woo! It's peace. I'm so thankful that I still have intimacy in my relationship. Man. I give thanks for that. Alright. That's enough. I'm going to keep it right there. Yes, I give thanks that there's still intimacy. Okay? Alright. Damn. Every time I start talking about black man, I just be wanting to goddamn serenade somebody with a song. I'ma chill though. I'ma chill. You Yes indeed. Okay. So Nukpu Intrahimet. Alright, I'm gonna find Gateway 2, Sacred Food. That's what we're gonna do to focus. Sacred food. But yeah, eliminate the underlying issue. Attack that. Alright, attack that. Great rising, family. Address the underlying issue. Everything come back to bad blood. You clean the blood. Like, I know it sounds like church, right? But you clean the blood, you clean everything. Everything in your body can cleanse itself via blood. Through your blood, you know? But if you ain't giving it good blood, you know. Alright, there you go. Here we go. My kitchen is free of negativity. 140. Alright, for 159. Great rising, sis. Great rising. Great rising. Hold on. You get comfortable. Or at least try. Hold on. This joint is tight. Pull that guy up. Ooh, give me some breathing room. Alright, here we go. So, sacred foods. Y'all, I showed y'all this skirt before and shit. This shit is amazing. I don't know where it came from because, you know, I'm a thrifter and shit. So, okay, so the brand is just Say Anything, but it's super dope because it, like, I could wear it across here and it'd be like a sundress and shit. Then I could wear it all the way down and it'd be like a skirt. Or I could pull it up and it'd be like a pencil skirt and shit. This shit is dope as fuck, but I love a $2 win now. A $2 win. Okay, focusing on sacred foods. Focusing on sacred foods. Nukpu nukku amiku kimam zapru intrahal nuku aum inkinu amuku. Yeah, I've learned that before I learned what it means. But I come from the Most High and I am the light, dwelling in the light. Okay. Fire breathing, libation, spiritual bath. Alright, so let's start on sacred foods, altar work. Alright, face your heart to the east to the rising sun. Your altar, if you don't have a baseline, should have a picture of your spiritual guardian, a picture of your ancestor, a picture of your sacred self, that's your higher self. A picture of you where you felt like you looked your best or felt your best. Okay, that would be the picture. A picture of your elder, a picture of your contemporary. I was reading an article one time to talk about if you're in a place where you can't have an altar. I've showed you how to have a mint box altar, but as crazy as it may sound, sometimes you may have to set up an altar and then take a picture of it and then disassemble the altar and use the picture on your phone as your altar. And that's if you're in a space or place where your safety or livelihood is compromised by altar work. Alright? Um, let's see. So we got our wooden bowl, our baptism bowl, representative of water, an ankh for eternal life, or any other sacred symbol. It said aho, ashe, hallelujah. You know what I mean? Depending on where you are, your sacred symbol. A flowering herb or plant representative of earth, an anointing oil. For this particular gateway, the essential oil is thyme, THYME. Brown or green candle. The candle is always representative of fire. The sacred stone is carnelian, a stone I'm fond of, mostly because I know rough carnelian is associated with the throat. All right. Food for your ancestors: corn, rice, fruits, vegetables, etc. Released from the altar after 24 hours. Place a bowl of earth upon your altar. A lot of people wonder, what do you do with the stuff that you've placed on the altar after the 24 hours when you throw it away? My children usually eat whatever food I've left on the altar for my ancestors. And I remember at one time when Dory was eating the candy for Papa Legba, I wanted to, I was like, oh, off with her head. But I recognize that those things that we dedicate to them are sacred and healing. So it's peace that the children will at least eat those fruits. Okay, if they don't eat fruits and vegetables when I serve them at any meal time, they at least know how I feel about eating the fruit from the altar space. So that's peace. Place a bowl of earth upon your altar. The sacred tablecloth is brown or green, and the scarf to wear during your prayer is also the same color, brown or green. Sacred foods, brown or green. The spiritual guardian is TaUrt. I remember that one because it sounds like the earth. But brown and green, all right? Sacred tablecloth, brown or green, and scarf to wear during prayer. Sacred color cloth to lay before altar. Sacred instruments to be played as you pray. All right, hold on. Oh, we're on page 159. 159. Great rising. Great rising. Great rising. Great rising. Great rising. How much longer till the fast is over? Is everybody's fast is that they're on. I realized that fasting is a part of my lifestyle now. I don't know that you consider it fasting still when it's it's a part of my lifestyle now. Didn't take long either. Didn't take long. All right, we're gonna get there. Another thing about my lifestyle, because my my intake, like I don't take in a lot of calories anymore, and I burn a lot of them. I burn a lot of them, and I need more rest because that's part of healing. My body or my blood have the nutrients that it needs to build, but it doesn't have the rest or the time that it needs to. And it's not easy finding a balance, but I'm determined to, and I will. So yeah, about the fasting though, I said I don't want to have you out here following me and be ill because at this point I'll only eat when I'm hungry, and it takes a while to get hungry, family. It takes a while to get hungry. Yeah. Not to have a craving. Remember I told you, if you say you hungry, and just try it today. If today you hungry and the options are a banana or apple or a handful of grapes. If you're hungry and none of those make you like, oh, hell yeah. I told you I was so hungry, I just wanted to make a fucking grape sandwich and shit. Like, fucking bite a grape right down the middle and fucking bite the tip off the banana, that little gray piece you always throw away and shit. I just wanted that little gray piece because it would fit perfectly between the grape pieces. That's hunger, okay? That's hunger. When if in fact a healthy option, a small portional healthy option wouldn't satisfy you, if you were hungry, then you're not hungry. It's a craving. If you have to have a very particular thing, can't be no Publix donut, it can't be no Dunkin' donut, it has to be a hot, light on Krispy Kreme donut. Alright, then you know what it is. Hold on. The girls, they slipping, they falling, they can't get up. Okay. Yeah. So you use the skirt to hold them down. Um, let's do better. Remember, yeah, fasting is for you to decide. It's the conscious decision, to not eat. It's not starving yourself. It's making a conscious decision not to. It feels so good though. But if your stomach is making rumbling sounds every day, then you should treat yourself to a fast. If like I said, no organ in your body is having those conversations with you. If your eye started growling, or your fucking liver or your uterus started growling, or your fucking lung was like, you be ready to go get seen about. But you have these awkward conversations with your stomach all day long. Now that my stomach is so much less active than it used to be, I realized how overactive it was. Like, it didn't growl sometime. Like, there was always some pain or some discomfort or some screech for help, like the first thing I feel in the morning, because I would eat too late, sneak eating, what I call it. We got to creep in the kitchen and hope you don't wake a motherfucker up. The late night sneak eating cause you to have this excruciating, feel like a hunger pain. As soon as you wake up, you're like, shit, I need to eat. Like, and then you eat something, and then you feel the bloat, and then you feel gas, and then by the time that clears, you're saying you're hungry again, and so you eat until you're full, and then your stomach rumbling to shit, and it's like, that's just an abusive relationship. If I had to mumble and grumble to a man every day, all day long, I would not feel the love. But we do the same things to our bodies. Sacred foods, all to work, is TaUrt, the earth. The earth, family, the earth. Be raw. Let's see. Sacred foods will give you the ability to eat and assimilate food and ideas that heal. Through consumption of holistic foods, you are taught how to achieve a healthy, well-balanced, nourishing life. I asked Zion last night while I was making a salad, I said, hand me the spinach and hand me the romaine. And she didn't have a problem handing me the spinach. But the romaine, she was like, you hand me almond butter, then hand me an eggplant. And I'm like, fam, romaine. They don't know unless we teach them. That's a really good way, a healthy way to encourage your children to eat healthier, holistic foods with you and your spouse. You know what I mean? Just ask him to keep you company in the kitchen, and then it's easy to pass a small task, like breaking the lettuce up with your hand or something of the sort. But through the consumption and preparation of holistic foods, we're edified. We're taught to achieve a healthy, well-balanced, nourishing life. Eating flesh, eating fast food, and junk food will destroy a woman's vitality. Eating flesh food, fast food, and junk food will destroy a woman's vitality. That seems so easy. Vitality. Listen, that's your life force. That's your life force. That's your magic power. That's It's the thing, like when we little, they say you need your heart. If your heart is not beating, then you're not alive. And you say, well, if you're not breathing, then you're not alive. And then they be like, well, if you're not living, then you're not alive. And if you're not feeling, then you're not alive. And if you're not loving, you're not alive. And it's all of these things that, if it's not this, then it's that. And if it's not that, then it's this, as things that indicate you're alive. When in actuality, it's one thing, and that's vitality. Your life force is your vitality. It's the thing in a flower that make a flower stand up. Before the sun even come up, that thing in it that makes it reach for the sun or look for the sun. The thing that makes it shy away from the shadow. That is the vitality. When women have junk food, brothers, you too, when women have junk food, fast food, and flesh food, they decrease their vitality. I see a sister every day, and she She having this pain, or she having that pain, or she attracting this energy, or she attracting that energy. And then I watch the way she eat, and my heart cry for her, because it's mostly Debbie cakes. And I know you got a fast paced life. You always on the go. If all I see you eat is Debbie cakes and fast snacks, then when you have time, you actually have fast food. You know what I'm saying? If I always see you on the go, and the quick go is grab a bag of chips and a fucking Swiss roll cake or some shit, then I know that when you actually have 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 30 minutes, your answer is a wing shack. And I know that these things destroy your vitality, because our life is just like it. You know what I mean? Like, you have these unhealthy relationships where they're high charged and the energy is sweet, and then you crash and burn. Kind of like when you have a Swiss roll. Your energy for a split second, the sugar is there and you rush, and then you crash and burn. The things we put in our body, you are what you eat, mean more than a nigga pussy. Excuse me, you feel me? Gotta give it to you how I get it. Yeah, like at one point I thought something like that. Oh, okay, thought that was a rap clapback and shit. You tell a nigga he is what he eat, you either calling this nigga a pig or you calling this nigga a pussy. No, it's so much more than that. You literally are what you eat. You smell like it. And I tell the sister, like, for you, you have to do what you have to do, because to each his own. But for me, I cannot imagine being with a man who tastes like pizza, okay? Because pizza the second time around don't taste like pizza the first. And I mean that because you smell it in your sweat, you smell it in your gas, you smell it in your hair, the same way we smell cigarettes and liquor. All of those things we can smell, all right? Holistic foods, holistic thoughts, healthy, well-balanced, nourishing life. Eating flesh, fast food, and junk food will destroy a person's vitality. Vegetarian, vegan, fruitarian, and live eating will strengthen and heal a body. Live foods give the sacred woman longevity and will eliminate fear, hate, and a sense of being overwhelmed with life's challenges. Sacred food is the foundation of the body temple of a divine sacred woman. Gateway 2. Sacred foods will eliminate food blockages such as obesity, compulsive eating, or compulsive starving. The spiritual exercises of ascension are to be performed daily for 7 days, the number for the spirit. They will awaken your inner gateways of divinity so that you come to your full sacred center. The spiritual bath. Your altar. Set up your altar on the first day of your entry into this gateway. And I just told you about how to set the altar up. Your anointing with thyme oil. Use only pure essential oils. Anoint your crown, your forehead, the body temple, gateway of supreme spirituality, your heart, the body temple gateway of compassion and divine love, the womb area, the palms of your hands to make everything you touch more sacred, and the bottoms of your feet to spiritually align your steps, to walk in power, promise, and faith. Opening the gateway. To invoke each gateway spiritual guardian, you may use whatever words pour from your heart. For example, here's a prayer that might be used at Gateway 2. Sacred and divine TaUrt, spiritual guardian of the gateway of sacred food, please accept my deepest gratitude for your healing presence on my altar and in my life. Thank you for your guidance and inspiration and for your love and blessings. And please accept my love and blessings in return. Hetepu. As you offer your prayer, simultaneously shake, ring, or beat or rattle a sacred instrument, sistrum bell, drum, shakerei, to awaken the inter that is indwelling. Libation. Pour libation for the sacred foods gateway from a special cup or sprinkle water from a bowl onto the earth or a plant as you call out. Do we all have an altar? Are y'all doing any of this stuff yet? Libation or the spiritual bath. Pour libation as you say all praise and adoration to the spiritual guardian, TaUrt. Ashe. Let me make sure I have that. All right. As a pour libation, all praise and adoration to this ancestor of sacred food, asked, Ashe. All praise and adoration to the elder of sacred food, Amon de Ra'ah, Ashe. Okay. All praise and adoration to my divine self and my contemporary divine sisters, Cher Garden, Diane Sisson, who honor sacred food. Ashe. All right. We've done our sacred woman prayer. Yeah. The more work you do, the more rewards you reap. Okay? This is it. The more work you do, the more apparent it is. You deserve it, so I hope you're doing the work for yourself. The Sacred Foods Prayer. Divine Creator, help me to break my food addictions that cause me disease. Help me to avoid eating foods that cause cancer, high blood pressure, tumors, anxiety, and premature aging. Help me discern angelic foods over foods that create demonic action. Give me the power to eat foods that build my body in a temple of wellness, radiance, and health. May I be blessed to be the mind to feed my body temple, meatless, vegetarian, and fruitarian foods made to perfect and sustain my sacred body temple. May my debilitated taste buds be transformed and revitalized so I may take pleasure and delight in eating foods that your divine spirit has prepared for my healing. May I find solace in consuming sacred organic fruits, vegetables, nuts, whole grains, sprouts, and pure water. May all these gifts of true nourishment make me into a holy light being, a sacred woman. Nukpu Intrahemet, I am a sacred woman. Nukpu Intrahemet, Nukpu Intrahemet, Nukpu Intrahemet. I am a sacred woman. Chant this Hesi 4 times. Fire breathing. We begin by slowly inhaling 4 times and exhaling 4 times. Then when totally at ease, the fire breaths. Pump through your nose, mouth closed, as you expand the breath down into your abdomen and back up to your chest. Inhale deeply like a pump through your nose. Mouth closed. As you expand the breath down into your abdomen. So it shouldn't be here, but here, okay? Those are the fire breaths. Completely exhale out through your nostrils from your abdomen as it contracts in the lungs. Release your breath completely. Repeat this breath rapidly in and out, in and out. They teach us in school that our lungs are for our breathing, and that's it. Your lungs help you breathe. And that's pretty much all we get. Until somebody's lung get a fluid in it or collapse, we don't know the lung to be anything else but to help you breathe, okay? The lungs are like a lot of our other organs, eliminative organs. They help us to get rid of things that the body doesn't need, okay? That's why you cough when you smoke, or you cough up phlegm when there's mucus in there, all right? They're eliminative organs. They're to help you eliminate the bullshit, okay? So when we practice these breathing exercises, for those of us who feel like still some of the stuff is typical nigga escapism, we strengthen that muscle, all right? We strengthen that muscle. To strengthen an eliminative organ is to give it more power. And fire breaths do that for us. Allow each deep fire breath to represent the opening of 1,000 lotus petals of illumination and radiance that lead to Neferatum, the ultimate African lotus station of divinity. We move to 300 fire breaths in Gateway 2. Right. Great rising, great rising, great rising, great rising. Great rising. Gateway 2, Sacred Foods Meditation. Increase the length of time you spend in meditation every 7 days. The longer you remain in meditation, the deeper your inner peace will be. And the more solid your ka, or spirit, will become. The cleaner your body temple, the sooner you'll be able to live permanently in a state of peace and inner balance of the meditative state. For the TaUrt, Mother Guardian of Earth visualization, sit comfortably as you breathe in the life force, the nourishment from the earth. Begin by inhaling spiritual earth food through the soles of your feet all the way up into your crown. Then exhale out from your crown back into the earth, the essence of your nourishment. 4 counts as you breathe in and 8 counts as you breathe out. Continue inhaling and exhaling the spirit of the mother guardian of the earth, TaUrt. Visualize the color brown and or green earth energy coursing through your blood. Breathe into your cells, into your joints, and then out. What am I thinking? Visualizations, premonitions, visions, dreams, divination, all of these things. What movie was I watching where he's like, yo, people can predict the weather but don't know what the fuck is gonna happen to them in the next minute. Like, how the fuck is that even possible? You already know whether the fuck it's gonna fucking rain on Friday, but you can't tell whether or not your relationship gonna make it. Yo, it's easier to hear the signs that we ask for. We always asking for signs and omen. It's easier to see them and hear them and receive them when we've prepared ourselves to. And we do that by eating clean. Remember, it is rocket science. They said it wasn't, I know, but it is. It's exactly what it is, rocket science. And when you consume the chemicals, like I said, just like you done known somebody to go to the dentist and shit, and they done got the laughing gas, and they was tripping, and they don't even remember that shit. You have to be like, fool, you was out your rabbit ass mind, my nigga. You was tripping. Yeah, the same way when somebody get drunk or somebody get high, and you be like, bruh, that shit you was on. They be like, what? Say word. Yeah, it's the same thing. The chemicals that we put in our body. Great rising, sis. Great rising. Now, you know you always on time, God, because my God is an on-time God. Welcome. Yeah, but the same way, those chemicals that we consume in our foods, the chemicals that we take in our lotions and our sprays, and let's be for real, they some extreme chemicals that you feel like you got to put a chemical on your skin to clean your skin. You ain't done shit. You ain't sweat nothing. You ain't gardened. You ain't fished or hunted or fucked or nothing. You just went and sat at a job under artificial light and some fucking chemical AC or heat, and now you got to go home and use a fucking solvent to get some chemicals to strip what from your skin. What are you doing? What are you doing that you use such a brace of soaps on a regular basis? You know, a lot of these soaps you use, they can't even sell you for days. They have to wait weeks before they can sell it. Otherwise, the lye in them will eat your fucking skin up. Anyway, it's important that you understand the chemicals that we're taking in through our foods, our relationships, and our environments help to suppress our dreams. Okay? They help to suppress our dreams, and our dreams are that's your mail from mama. Shit, I don't know how else to tell you that. I've told you that before. That's your messages or your mail. You want to get a letter from God? You get letters from God all the time, but if you can't hear them or you can't read them, then it's not the same as having got the mail. You've missed your memos. Eat differently so you can hear better. Eat differently so you can feel better. We already know what it feels like to eat something and then feel slothful, to feel heavy and tired. Remember, the same thing that's happening to us in body is also happening to us in mind and spirit. So when you get the itis, not just your physical body is shutting down. So is your spirit and mind and other avenues of you that should be open. Okay? So eat clean. Try it. Do your best, fam. Try time is die time. All right? Now breathe deep into your bones, then out again. Visualizing colors. We know how important this is because they use the colors to attract our children. That's how they program our children. If they had a show where it was black or dark or gray or drab, our children wouldn't pay attention and they would miss the programming. So they use all these bright and flashy colors because colors are interactive and colors vibrate high. Okay, so they use these high vibratory colors to attract our children and to lock and load, get their attention before they unload all the programming. But the colors that they've used to our disadvantage, we have to learn to use to our advantage. All right, we have to learn to use to our advantage. Breathe deep in your bones. Breathe the nourishment into your muscles, then out again. Now that you're filled with the prana or breath from the earth, rest and be hotep, which means peace. Be at peace. The color visualization. Visualize the gateway colors of brown or green. The brown or black soil brings forth the green grass and leaves to feed and nourish us, or the green that represents regeneration. Great rising, Queen Mother. I love you. Great rising. As you perform your meditation, wear brown or green and or place a brown or green cloth on your altar. That helps to stay in sacred mode. Okay, I told you before when I went through this, I committed to wearing whatever color every day of the gateway that I was in. So that would mean that I would be in brown or green for as long as I was in Gateway 2, Sacred Earth, TaUrt. And a lot of that, now I realize this time I don't have to do that. I don't feel led to do that. And I've asked myself, what makes it different? Am I less committed? Am I less in? Am I so above myself that I feel like I'm too graduated to participate in the same ways that I did before? And that's not it. The first time I needed a constant reminder. Kind of like for me what it was like to have on a wedding ring. Because the minute I take it off and somebody else forget I'm married, I forget too. Okay, for me, it was a constant reminder. To keep my eye on the prize. And so if you need that, if you're one of those people who find that every day you giving a test and every day you kind of blow it, you lose your cool, you snap the fuck off and get... If you go there every day you find yourself slipping and eating the wrong thing. It's one thing if you did it one time, but you do it one time or you do it every couple hours, then do something, like I said, do something on the outside so that mind, body, and spirit are on the same page. Do something on the outside so the inside knows what the fuck is up. Okay? Sacred stone meditation. While in meditation, hold your palm over your stomach, the sacred healing stone of this gateway, the carnelian. Carnelian regulates the intake of food and assists in assimilation and circulation. It also helps the digestive system and filter out impurities effectively. Herbal tonics. Like I said, we're going to be real. Carnelian is not going to help you if you're not helping yourself. Carnelian will not help you if you're not helping yourself. If you are not helping to regulate your intake of food, then carnelian will be unable to assist you in your assimilation and circulation. You can't have a carnelian in one hand and a cheeseburger in the other. If you want to help your digestive system filter out impurities effectively, then be of assistance. Be of help. Herbal tonics, they got parsley tea. She's got it for 7 days. For me, I don't have the energy to drink tea like I did before. I really don't. I have the energy still. It's just reserved for other things besides regulating my body temperature, fighting me to get my temperature back to 97 because I would like to have some tea that's 102 degrees. All right, flower essences. To deepen your experience of Gateway 2, choose from the following flower essences. Take 4 drops 4 times per day directly under the tongue or directly on or under the tongue, and add the same amount to a small glass of purified water and sip. For instructions on how to choose flower essences, they got some other stuff on pages 30 to 31. The flower essence is something else that I didn't ever engage in. Like, I kind of low-key, I think I would eat a flower. I'm pretty sure I would eat a flower. Now that I'm saying that, I kind of want a flower. I wonder what a crabapple flower would taste like. That's peace. I don't want the essence of the flower. I want the flower itself. But they got crab apple to release toxins during cleansing of fasting regimes. Iris helps suppress cravings for sweets and general hypoglycemic tendencies. Promotes body awareness and feminine consciousness. Pink monkey flower addresses issues of using food as a buffer for emotional oversensitivity, stuffing oneself to dull out or numb feelings. Goldenrod addresses issues of overweight used to hide one's true self. Self-heal, confidence in body's ability to digest and assimilate food, being nourished and energized by what one eats. Walnut, to break habitual ties to old patterns of eating and to develop new relationships to nourishing foods. Goldenrod addresses issues overweight used to hide one's true self. Pink monkey flower, using food as a buffer for emotions. Helps suppress cravings for sweets and general hypoglycemic tendencies. Promotes body awareness, feminine consciousness. What's the hardest part of the journey for you? Like, what is the hardest part? what's the hardest part? Because I always wonder how come we don't all have it yet? What's the hardest part? It's not the same for all of us. For some of us, it's the food. For some of us, it's the words. For some of us, it's the relationships. You know, yeah. For some of us, it's the movement. You know, what is it though? What is it that make it difficult? What's the hardest thing for you? The hardest thing for me still is listening to, obeying my womb. That's still the hardest thing. It should be easy by now, but it's still the hardest thing because there's always a disconnect in what I want to do and what I'm being asked to do. There's always a disconnect there. Always. We're in constant communication, but it's always, like, I'm sure my womb asked me, like, I know she get frustrated like this nigga here. I can imagine. So that's the hardest thing for me, though. It's easy for me to eat right. It's easy for me to journal. It's easy to meditate. And it's easy to be peace. It's easy to be love and be power. But it's not easy to listen to my womb all the time. I want what I want. Like right now, my womb wants me to fast from sex. And right now, yeah, my womb is asking me to be peace. And right now, I'm like, I'm not peace. It's all I can think about. And I'm constantly like asking her, when are you ready? Like, I'm almost threatening her with it. Like, you just wait. As soon as he say go, it's going. But true story. That's the hard part for me. Oh. Okay. That wasn't a rhetorical question and shit. Like, I legit want to know what's hard for everybody else. Okay. Diet. Follow the Sacred Woman transitional dietary practices presented for gateways 1 through 3, or perform the Sacred Woman 7-day fast. If you got a book, that's on page 179. Sacred Foods Journal Writing. This is best done after internal cleansing and or meditation. When you are cleansed and centered, you can receive spiritual messages from the One Most High with grace. Okay. I mean, we say, so I love you. So that can be difficult. But it's not the alcohol. We know that now. It's not the alcohol. It's something else. Like, how to say this? Like, I guess it's the same way with alcohol, because I say we all got vices, maybe the shit apply the same way. But for some of us, alcohol, or whether it's cigarettes or whatever the fuck it is, like, maybe it's just wearing our ass out and cussing and acting like we ain't got no motherfucking sense. Whatever it is, like, we always know who we can do it with, who we can do it around, who we can trust with the secret. We all know where we can do that shit. We all know when we can do that shit. Even fucking heroin addicts and shit, motherfuckers who crack addicts, people who get on this shit and be out their mind, they still know when and where they cannot do that shit. You know what I'm saying? That means we have some control. When I've been in relationships with men who smoke cigarettes all the time, even if I don't smoke cigarettes as often as they do, I occasionally smoke cigarettes, or I'm more likely to buy a box of cigarettes. When I'm in a place or space where I know people will look at me like, ew, then true shit, it doesn't happen. It's the same way a hoe somebody who wear her ass out Monday through motherfucking Friday. She at the job with her ass out. She at Walmart with her ass out. She at your baby daddy house with her ass out. But when she go to church, she is in there like the Lord and sent the revival, and it's about to begin in her. Because she knows where the fuck and when the fuck she can and cannot do these things. She has control. When we have control, then we know that if we have any control, we know we can fix it. And it's the triggers. It's always the fucking triggers. It's always something else. Because if you were in a place or space with people all the time who did not support it, if you were with the who's and whens and whys that you know aren't for that shit, then you wouldn't be. But as it turns out, like I said at the beginning of the shit, we can only be as healthy as our fucking environments. Like, I've been in the AA shit. I know the fuck they tell you. Don't go to the family reunions. Don't go to the parties. Don't fuck with your family on the holidays. Don't go past the liquor store on your way home. Take a new way. Even if it's 3 miles longer or 11 minutes longer, it's going to save your life, so don't go that way. I know. I already know all that shit. I know the stuff they tell us. I know that it's the triggers. You want to eliminate the things that make me drink. Not eliminate the drink. So, sis, that's it. We just got to get used to talking. We just got to get used to addressing the shit that make us want to get it. Especially once we've identified ourselves as alcoholics or as addicts. We don't want to be that, Yeah, we don't wear them as badges of honor. So the desire to fix it, the desire to heal is there. Now we know that the control or the power to heal is there. All we have to do is start treating the whole person, not just the disease. Not just the disease, treat the whole person. The whole person. The whole person. It's crazy as fuck, because when you get the shit out your life, shit be out your life, I said, now that I'm not in circles with men who smoke cigarettes all the time, there is no desire or urge to smoke a cigarette. Now, it just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. Yeah, we're going to be all right, but we got to treat the whole person. Yeah, so when somebody be like, I'm trying to quit these cigarettes, I'm trying to quit the alcohol, I always wonder, what is in your life? What should she quit first? You know what I mean? Like I said, cigarettes and alcohol will quit themselves. Once you've identified and labeled yourself as an alcoholic or an addict, we know you don't want it. You know what I'm saying? You know all the shit that come with, and you don't want it. So what the fuck is causing it? Let's talk about the causes. You know I pray to you. I'm not about to sit on this feed and crucify you, God. I want to know, because my God is born perfect. My God is born flawless. My God didn't come through with no fucking bottle of Jack Daniel. She didn't come through with no box of wine. That's not how she was born. And so somebody did something to God. Somebody hurt God. So I'm not about to crucify you, Lord. I'm about to find out what the fuck has happened. Who's hurt you? So when you say you're addicted to something, I always wonder what's pushing it. When you want to drink, who said that? Who did that? And how could we have done it differently? Like I tell the children. All right. Because I don't want to beat your ass for that fuck shit you just did. We're going to sit down right here. We're going to pause. We're going to back it up, and we're going to replay it. What the fuck could you have said or done differently? Okay. Then they say so. And that's what we do in our own lives. But we have to really identify the triggers and shit, though. Like, realize that every time this job make me want to smoke a cigarette. Every time I get off a frustrating call, I want to smoke a cigarette. Every time a bill is due, I want to smoke a cigarette. Start finding out and then eliminating those things in an effective way. If every time I'm overwhelmed by money, if it's always debt that's always got me ready to just throw in the towel and just smoke and be like, fuck it. I got to realize I'm part of the problem. Every time I buy a cigarette, I take from my finances. Find an effective way to self-heal. Or stop telling us that you're really ready to heal, Or unless you're doing like that fake it till you make it thing. Like you keep being like, I'm trying. That's your affirmation. You trying. Everybody got choices. Sacred foods help. Sacred foods help. I promise you, when you begin to eat from the earth, it's a lot more difficult to put any poison in your body. It's a lot more difficult to put any poison in your body. I'm not going to go through the whole day making sure I only eat things that come from the ground. I'm only eating raw foods. I'm not eating anything processed or boxed or anything else. I'm not meditating for fucking 30 minutes a day and Nam Yan Ho Rengeki. I'm not going through all of that to smoke a fucking cancer stick at the end of the day. I'm not. It's kind of like when we start working out. If you've ever committed to working out and you're somebody who don't really work out normally, when you start to see the results, you start to feel differently about eating the same shit you used to eat. Be like, damn, man, I done worked out today too. You don't want to undo the work you've done. When you start to eat from the ground, you don't want to engage in the same relationships. When you start to eat from the ground and your thoughts are more clear, when you feel the spiritual connection growing stronger between you and TaUrt, you don't want to compromise it with toxic dick. You don't want to compromise it with toxic foods or thoughts, the same old habits. When you eat things that are new and alive, look at there, mind, body, and spirit. You want for your entire and holistic and whole self and holy self all things that are alive. It's peace, and we can have it. And he said, this is one of the easiest things. Not to go tell the man you want him to be vegetarian. Not to go beg your best friend to start meditating with you instead of wanting to fucking watch Empire or Power. The best thing and the easiest thing to do is make the changes in your own life. When you clean up your own shit, people will be where they're supposed to be. Yeah. If you stop smoking weed, I promise you your weed friends will find other friends. Promise. I promise you. Okay? Just like when you stop smoking the cigarettes. When you stop smoking the cigarettes, them folks who been smoking cigarettes on the lunch break at the job, did everybody just be like, okay, y'all, nah, stop smoking cigarettes, so we gonna stop smoking cigarettes? Hell nah. They still out there. Do what you gotta do for you. Do what you gotta do for you. And the same friends that had to catch up with you on smoke break, they had to give you the tea. Now, they ain't got to give you the tea no more, because you ain't out here. Listen, the things that are not of you will fall away from you when you start cleaning up your shit. It's easy. It's easy. The people who use you for money, when you stop spending your money, they'll go away. All right? The people who use you for sex, when you stop fucking, they'll go away. You'll see. You'll see. As you begin to clean up your shit will begin to clean up itself. Look at God. All right, sacred foods and journal writing. This is best done after internal cleansing. When you are in the spirit, messages travel down through your spirit mind to your heart, into your hand, and onto the paper. This is how I do all my writing. All of this is real. All of this is real. And the sisters that have actually done it can attest. If you're doing the work, you'll feel the work. If you don't have time yet, or you're still trying to do it, I can get that. But it's why you feel like you're stuck. It's why you feel like you can't go nowhere. Like I'm up. I'm up and I'm doing the work, but nothing's changing. Because you up, but you're not really up. You're not really doing the work. You're not really doing the work. And I don't have to judge you or tell you. You know what the fuck you are doing or not doing. Like I said, now that we've said the things that will help us, remember, we're doing something outward to communicate to the inside that change is coming. All right? We've been lying to ourselves for a long time. Promising our bodies we're going to do better. Promising this going to be the last drink. This going to be the last snack. This going to be the last unhealthy relationship. It's going to be the last time we fuck that nigga. Like, we keep doing that. This time, we're doing something different. We're doing something different. We're not saying shit, okay? Sacred silence. We're doing something different. Sacred duty. We're doing something different. So, yeah. No judgment. Like I said, I don't want the tea in the baths. But if you taking any effort, I got to be honest. If you taking any effort of self-care, then I'm proud. It hurt me to know that you might not be. So what are you or are you not doing? The sacred bath, the altar work, the prayers, the libations, the meditations, the fire breaths, the food meditations, the stone meditations, the flower essences, the herbal tonics, the journaling. What is it that you're doing? All right? What is it that you're doing? The journal work is real. The journaling will help to do a lot of things. It'll help you to see where you are as you're there. It'll help you to see where you've been once you've gotten somewhere else. It'll help leave a trail for your children or sisters, those behind you who need to be encouraged. And it'll the dreams, it enhances the dreams. The journaling enhances the dreams. All right? The journaling definitely enhances the dreams. Affirm your daily life. Do your altar work between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. Keep a journal or a special pen by your altar to work with the power, force, and stillness at the coming of dawn, the hour of Nepetet. Affirm your daily life. Write in your journal at this time your thoughts, activities, experiences, and interactions that present themselves. You can also write down your visions, desires, dreams, and affirmations so that you'll be able to draw on these resources when help and support are most needed. Consult Sisheta If you find that you're unable to contact your inner voice during your journal work, call Shetta, the keeper and revealer of secrets, who is indwelling to assist and speak through you. It's like that. The Lord said, "Let there be light," or like, it's been a while, but like, wasn't God there with the Word, and the Word was with God, and God was the Word? And so then God was sitting there by God's self with the Word. And then God was like, use Word to say light, and then there was light. We are the God, and we are here with the Word. And then you speak it, it bees, you know. If you find that you're unable to contact your inner voice during your journal work, call Shetta. I'm not asking you to conjure up nothing like the old Christian folks teach us. I'm not asking you to channel no energies, or like the ratchet say, be on no fuck shit. That's not what this is. Like saying, let there be light. The word is real. The energies are real. Whether or not you believe them to be real doesn't take from their realness. All right. Whether or not you utilize your magic or your power doesn't take from the magic or power. The magic or power is there in the reserve to be used. If you don't use it, someone else will. And so when we speak, because we're here with the Word, things be. Call Shetta. Whether or not you believe or whether or not you know, when all of these things are already in you. All of these things are already in you. That's how they say speak things into existence. Like, for me, I meet people all the time who say they're trying to have a child, and they want a child, and they say, well, what's the baby's name? They'll be like, I don't know. You haven't called the child? Did nobody never tell you that the Lord said, let there be light? Everything is already here. You have to call it forward. Call the child by name. Call Shetta by name. Call Shetta by name. Use these spirit energies that have sustained your ancestors for so long, and allow them to sustain you. Like I said, whether or not anybody ever told you that is there. We don't know every single person in our bloodline, in our lineage, from throughout the history. Yes, some of us got family trees and shit wrote down in Bibles and books, but still, the way folks lie about family and all of that shit, there's no way you'll ever know every single person in your bloodline. But every single person in your bloodline is in you. Call on your bloodline. All right. Shetta, the keeper and revealer of secrets. Scribe to Tahuti, consort to Tahuti, to assist and speak through you. All right, make sure I'm watching my time. All right, so the Sanab, the Freedom Shawl or quilt. Choose a new piece of cloth that corresponds to this gateway or gateway color, or a symbol. Remember, this cloth serves as a mini canvas that'll represent your experience in the gateway you're working in. So we're collecting meaningful symbols that can be added to your shawl or appliques, different things of the sort. You can add stones or natural objects, collectibles, family heirlooms, photographs that have been printed on fabric, and any other significant items that embody the essence of your experience. Give your imagination free rein and let your craftswoman spirit tell your story. All right, Sacred Woman tools. Damn. Sacred Woman tools. You'll need a kitchen laboratory tool as you outline in this chapter. All right. So it says here, a juice extractor, a blender, stainless steel pots, an enamel or heat-proof glass pot for brewing herbal teas, jars for various herbs, strainers for herbs, and wheatgrass extractors. A lot of these things you can find at the thrift if these are things you're into having. I will tell you this, though. I will ask you this, though. I'm not going to tell you shit. I will ask you this. Do you believe that the ancient and indigenous, that the original woman had to have, in order to heal herself, a juice extractor, a blender? Do you believe that Pocahontas had to have a juice extractor, a blender? Do you believe that she had to have a stainless steel pot or an enamel or heat-proof glass pot for brewing her herbal teas? Do you believe that the original African woman had to have a jar for her herb or a strainer or a wheatgrass extractor? Or do you believe that she ate sacred foods, TaUrt, and her body was restored? She ate the things and materials that her body needed to regenerate itself. We always shedding dead skin. We always watching scabs come and go. We're watching blackheads and boils all come and go on their own. Even broken bones, they don't go in and do shit to no bone. They don't go in and glue the bitch and staple the motherfucker. They put something on it to hold the motherfucker together and let it heal itself. Which means if they didn't put shit on the motherfucker, guess what it would do? You got it. Heal itself. The ancient and indigenous, I don't want you to get caught up in the hype. All right? They healed them. They helped the body to do what the body is already designed to do. The less destruction you do to the body, the less backup you need, all right? You don't need a scalpel and a juice extractor and surgery and a staple and a colonectomy and you don't need all of those things when you eat in a way that you help your blood to do the work that has to be done, all right? Sacred reminder throughout the week, observe closely the wisdom presented for gateway you're in. For maximum results, live freely and harmonize with the various systems of wellness presented. All right, so let's do these closing words. Tomorrow, I'm excited about we become one with all we consume. This is important to me. Man, I tell you, this we become one with all we consume. Damn, I need backup. We become one with all we consume. I'm gonna save it for tomorrow. That's a lot. Hold on. Give me 1 second. By definition, damn, we become one with all we consume. We consume and become the company we keep. We consume and become our environment. The lie and dye we put on our scalps even seeps down into our brain, flooding our sacred crowns with toxicity, dementing our minds, and compromising our pheromone release. You understand? When we say consume, I need you, that's the homework. By definition, look up the word consume or consumption. Damn. While you at it, look up the word consumer. That's the homework. I want you to understand and read between the lines so that when we come together tomorrow, you understand that becoming one with all we consume doesn't just mean you are what you eat. Okay? You are what you eat. You are what you think. You are what you breathe. You are what you see. Listen, we're going to get there, though. Oh, that's some good shit. But I'm at an hour, so I got to get out of here. Let me give you this affirmation. I am a distinctive, beautiful flower and a healing herb with a heart, a mind, breasts, buttocks, and a womb. I come with sacred earth medicine to heal myself. All right. All right. I am a sacred woman filled with the spirit of the Most High Supreme. I am a sacred woman full of love and grace. I am a sacred woman pure in state. I am a sacred woman spreading healing across the land. I am a sacred woman radiant and bright. I am a sacred woman bringing forth the light. I am a sacred woman moved only in the spirit. I am a sacred woman standing tall and strong. I am a sacred woman healthy, wealthy, and all-wise. I am a sacred woman working magic from my healing kitchen laboratory. I am a sacred woman, a natural beauty in all ways. I am a sacred woman holding no malice for man or woman. I am a sacred woman empowered with freedom and harmony. I am a sacred woman working skillfully with nature's 4 elements, calling air, fire, water, and earth. Come, journey with me as we work, restoring harmony upon the earth. Nuk pu nuk ku amiku kimam exepru intrahau nuk au inu inku amuku. I am a shining being and a dweller in the light who has been created and who came into existence from the limbs of Inter. I am one of those lights dwelling in the light. Yo, that's peace. For real. Okay, I love you. Remember, the homework is find the definition of consume, consumption, and consumer, and read between the lines. Read between the lines so you have your own idea of what we talk about tomorrow. being one with all we consume. I love you. Peace and light, y'all. Peace and power.